Good day everyone, I am Elmerus Kapunay and today we are going to tackle about teaching grammar using stories. Stories can be a powerful tool in and out of the classroom. In addition to teaching us and helping us remember information, stories can connect us to new ideas and new people. When stories reflect our own experiences and backgrounds, they can make us feel recognized and heard. When stories are inspirational, they can motivate and empower us. Stories can be about historical people and events, fictional characters and narratives, or students and their own lives. Incorporating stories into grammar practice is particularly effective because students can see how grammar is used in authentic contexts. Remember the grammar more easily than with discrete sentences on unrelated topics. Develop their creativity, learn about important people and events. Good day everyone, I am Elmerus Kapunay and today we are going to tackle about teaching grammar using stories. Stories can be a powerful tool in and out of the classroom. In addition to teaching us and helping us remember information, stories can connect us to new ideas and new people. When stories reflect our own experiences and backgrounds, they can make us feel recognized and heard. When stories are inspirational, they can motivate and empower us. Stories can be about historical people and events, fictional characters and narratives, or students and their own lives. Incorporating stories into grammar practice is particularly effective because students can see how grammar is used in authentic contexts. Remember the grammar more easily than with discrete sentences on unrelated topics. Develop their creativity, learn about important people and events, both past and present. Feel recognized and empowered when classroom stories mirror or even about their own experiences. And be inspired to learn more or to take action on a subject of particular importance to them.
Good morning, everyone. I am Nisel D. Tapitan, and today let's going to tackle about the 5 advantages of teaching grammar using stories. So I have here 5 advantages in using stories. Let's go first with the natural context. Natural context is one of the advantage of teaching grammar using stories because it demonstrates real-life language application and it enhances comprehension through intuitive learning. Real-life language refers to the way people naturally communicate in their everyday lives. Next is presentation. Presentation is advantageous in teaching grammar using stories because it provides a real-life context for grammar rules, engages students, help them visualize and apply the rules in natural language use, and creates an emotional connection to enhance learning. Third is the universal appeal. In teaching grammar using stories, it is advantageous because it makes lessons accessible to a diverse group of learners. It encourages cultural awareness and engages students with relatable cross-cultural content, enhancing motivation and understanding. The fourth is sustained interest. Sustained interest is one of the advantage of teaching grammar using stories because it enhances the engagement of the student. When the student remain interested in the lesson, they are more likely to actively participate and stay focused, leading to better learning outcomes. Lastly, the positive learning attitudes. Positive learning attitude is advantageous in teaching grammar with stories because they boost engagement, improve retention, and sustain long-term motivation. When students have positive attitude towards learning, they are more engaged in teaching process. Using stories makes grammar lessons more interesting and relatable, which can enhance students' motivation to learn. That's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone, my name is Regimes P. Kalibog. My topic is disadvantages of storytelling method. Too much use the storytelling method can lead the learners to become passive listeners. Less questioning. Learners may not be able to question much and here won't understand the lesson much better. Less active participation. When learners become passive listeners, they become less active participants.
Good morning everyone. I am Johanna Marie Bayutas and today we're going to tackle about the topic on how to execute the method in teaching grammar. So first, briefly explain that in English, often verbs are followed by another action. In these cases, we have to choose to use either an infinitive or a gerund. Give them the example of I want to go versus I enjoy going. The second one, read your story for a third time. This time, pause after each verb and let the students elicit the verb that follows in infinitive or gerund form from the story. You will be surprised that many will remember it, especially if the story is interesting. The third one, as you elicit the verb forms, write the main verbs on the board in either the verb plus infinitive or verb plus gerund column. Note that you are writing the main verb. Enjoy the phrase, he enjoyed eating. Lastly, when finished, tell your students to try to retell the story to a partner from their memory. They should be able to look at the verbs on the board from close about the story, and because the list is chronological, they will be able to start from the top and work their way through it. Tell them to do their best. It doesn't have to be perfect. Thank you.
By the way, I am Noel Dimfield, and this is a continuation of using stories in teaching grammar, as well as the sample activities. Our focus here is the verb patterns in English grammar. So, what is patterns in English grammar? Patterns in English grammar tell us whether to use the infinitive or the gerund after a certain word. The infinitive is a basic form of the verb. Depending on the verb, adjective, or noun it follows. We can use the infinitive with or without to into be, to into have, and to into do. The gerund is the ing form of a verb. It acts as a noun in a sentence and follows a certain verbs, prepositions, and adjectives. I have here some activities. These are merely focused on basic verb patterns in English grammar. So let's be answering these. Sample activity using the method. In our first sample activity, students are going to fill in the blank, the correct verb patterns. In our first example, I provided and answered questions as a guide for the students on what to do in the next activity. On this second activity, students will supply the correct verb patterns which include the adjective plus gerund and preposition plus gerund pattern. Okay, see if you get the correct answer. On this third activity, which is the intermediate version of questions, students will provide the correct verb using the verb patterns. Let's find out. Here are the answers. See if you get the correct answers. And for our last sample activity, we have the gerund and infinitives. With a partner, look at the questions below. Together, put them in the correct form of gerund of infinitive and then ask each other the questions. God bless.